Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pro Body Lifestyle Podcast. My name is Melissa Protchuk, and next to me is my handsome husband, Janusz Protchuk. And today we're going to be speaking about how to overcome gym anxiety, which I know is a topic that's going to help a lot of you if you've never stepped foot into the gym before, but you've really wanted to. So let's make 2026 the year that you actually go to the gym and overcome that fear.
Yeah, now this podcast will also relate to any fear or any anxiety that you might be having. So we'll specifically be talking more about gym anxiety because that's what we find a lot of people struggle with when they're first getting into their fitness journeys. But this can literally be applied to anything that you're starting to build up that resistance or that anxiety. It often comes from sometimes if you have withdrawn from a place, sometimes that first time stepping back out again into an uncertain environment can just feel massive in your head.
Yeah.
And then we start to build up all of these worries, all of these fears that just stop us from stepping into those areas.
Yeah, I think anxiety also comes from the uncertainty. So not sure if what you're about to do is actually going to work. Like I know for a lot of my clients, when I'm speaking to them for the first time and they tell me they're anxious, a lot of them, it's not that they're anxious to walk in, some of them. It's actually, I'm going to the gym already, but I have no idea if what I'm doing is actually going to pay off in the end. And I feel anxious to continue following this. So I might as well just go do a group class. I might as well just go follow what my friends are doing. Where if we can find strength and certainty in what you're doing, you can walk into the gym knowing that you are going to get the results as long as you're consistent and it's all going to pay off in the end.
Yeah, I love that. But it is one of those things that can be quite debilitating.
Oh, so yeah,
I
agree.
I remember like even when I first started off, I remember feeling the exact same feeling going to the gym because my background, like I didn't really go to the gym that often. Like when I was young, I did a lot of sport. I did AFL. Judo is one of the things I did for my whole life. So I was always really fit and healthy. But then I remember the first time I think it was in high school, I went to a gym with a mate and I was even with a friend. And I remember feeling that going to the gym where I'd walk in and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this place is so intimidating.
Yeah.
A lot of it came from not knowing what to do, not knowing what exercises I should be doing in the gym, not really having a plan. Like I just felt so overwhelmed. I felt like a lot of people were going to be judging me.
Yeah.
And then of course I've overcome that now, but I just remember feeling so debilitated by it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I did it anyway and I kept going and I kept going and I kept going. And then through the repetition of leaning into the fear is where you overcome the fear.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing I think with any type of anxieties, especially like gym anxieties, is that the more that you submit to the anxiety and you don't go, the more it starts to build up in your head and it makes it harder and harder and harder to go the more that you're avoiding it. Where it's that gradual exposure to any fear is what helps you to overcome it. So we'll go through a few strategies today about what you can do to help make it, a little less intimidating than just being like, okay, I've got all of this fear, I've got all this anxiety. What am I going to do to step into the gym?
Yeah, and I think it's really important. I like that you mentioned that you also felt anxious because I used to as well. It's really important to remember that most people who are going to the gym right now have all had moments of feeling anxious. No one started as an advanced, strength trainer. No one starts that way. We all start as beginners. We all start going to a new gym or just walking to the gym in general, feeling overwhelmed. You may be experienced and you may still walk into a new gym feeling overwhelmed. I know for myself, I've trained in our home gym now for a good 5 to 6 years. Sometimes on holidays, when we go to an actual gym, a hotel gym, a commercial gym, I feel anxious because I'm like, how does this bench come up? Like in Queensland a few weeks ago was struggling to get my bench from a flat bench to an incline bench because I didn't realize I had to pull the lever and I felt silly. And I was like, wow, like even me who's a PT who literally trains 5 days a week felt anxious being in that gym. But what helped was us constantly going and just being like, you know what? It's actually okay to laugh at yourself. It's okay to feel like you're a beginner because we all felt that way. So if you feel like people are judging you, you feel scared that, you may be doing things wrong. We've all been there.
Yeah. No one is perfect. And I love that point because we do still feel gym anxiety. So just know that you're not alone in this feeling.
Yes.
Like we all feel it and it's normal to feel anytime you go into a new environment. It's new, so you aren't comfortable there by default because your body is trying to acclimatize to like, okay, like where am I? Where is all the equipment? And we totally get that when we go to a new gym. I literally, like one of the things that I like to do is to just commit to just showing up is the first thing.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know what this gym looks like inside, but you know what? I'm just going to go there anyway. I go there, and the first thing I always do is I go straight to the cardio area, because I like to just take my time and just acclimatize myself to the gym. So I like to go, it's intimidating. You don't know where anything is in the gym. So take a moment, take 5 minutes, just walk on the treadmill, maybe go for a bike ride, whatever you prefer, and just get your breathing back, just get into the rhythm, get comfortable first, just being there, and just look around and just have a look at like, okay, yep, that's where the dumbbells are. I can see that. All right, yep, there's the squat racks.
Really, that's what I tell people too. I love that point, is really have a good look where your safe zones are to begin with.
Yeah.
I think the first step for a lot of my clients that I tell them when they first begin is walking. A lot of the gyms have like those like 2 stories where the treadmills are at the top. Jump on the treadmill. That's a very safe zone just to walk, put your headphones in. Don't even put music on. Just put headphones in to act like, you're warming up, and then have a little look around. Where's that safe zone? Is there a girls only area if you're a female who's feeling anxious that you can start in? Looking around, the dumbbells are taken by maybe some macho men, which is so fun. Like everyone's, allowed to take up space in the gym, but sometimes that can be quite intimidating. I know for a lot of my female clients, they feel a bit like, oh, who am I to go walk into that area? They're going to laugh. But we all belong in every area of the gym. Sometimes the cables can be really overwhelming. If you're watching the video right now on YouTube, like, when they have the cables and they're doing, a fly or a chest press or anything like that, it can seem a bit overwhelming being like, excuse me, can I jump in and do my 2 kilo tricep pull down? So like you feel a bit overwhelmed there. But yeah, getting kind of your surroundings and knowing where you feel comfortable. Maybe it's a little corner of the gym, bringing 2 dumbbells over there and just starting in that little spot there.
Yeah. So I always think like get your bearings first. Like just commit to number 1, showing up, just going in. And if you are someone who's got a bit of anxiety, you might just, like a lot of our clients, the first step, if they have got a lot of gym anxiety, is to just go to the gym, walk on the treadmill, and then just go home after that. Just get used to showing up, getting into that environment, because the more that you show up, the more that you walk on that treadmill, then it's going to slowly diminish. You're going to feel more comfortable in the place because you're exposing yourself there regularly.
Yeah.
And then you can start to be like, all right, let me go that next step and just start with something that I feel comfortable with. So don't go to the crazy machine that you've never seen before, that you have no idea how to use, and you can get stuck trying to figure out how do I do this. Start with just go over to a light set of dumbbells and just start doing some bicep curls.
Yeah, 100%.
Or start doing some shoulder press. Or if you have a program from a coach, then obviously that's where usually your coach, if they're a great coach, will start with exercises that are easier and more comfortable and familiar to you. Yep. And then they'll progress them over time by adding 1 or 2 new ones every now and then. So it's like, okay, now that you're comfortable with those exercises, try 1 new one this time. Yeah. And just that constant exposure to, the same environment gets you used to it. So the anxiety starts to drop because you're like, oh, I'm comfortable now. I don't need to be anxious, because anxiety is kind of like, oh, I'm uncertain about the future. I'm uncertain about what I'm going to be doing. So the more certainty you can get by getting used to the surroundings and used to the exercises you're doing, then you're going to start to get more confident, and there's not going to be anxiety because you're like, oh, well, I know my program. I know the gym that I'm going to. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, great point. I think another thing to remember as well is not even thinking about gym anxiety. Think about anything in life that you did for the first time that you did feel anxious about, that you now don't even second guess it. Like, for example, if you started a new job, you went to a new uni degree, maybe you started in a new friendship group, whatever it is, think about how anxious you felt when you first did it. Like, I know for myself, when I started doing in-person PT for the first time, my first client, I remember being so overwhelmed, I would prepare for it, which I always do, but like overly thinking about it the day before. I would come in, I would overthink every little thing. I'd be thinking about it after going, did I say the right things? Did I teach them well? Did they leave here feeling the best? Where now it all comes so naturally to me because I've exposed myself constantly over the years to so many clients that it comes so naturally now. So if you feel anxious walking into the gym, it's like, yes, it feels overwhelming now, but I can guarantee if you're consistent with going, eventually you're going to look back and you're not going to be able to believe that you used to feel so nervous, not just using equipment, but just walking in. I was telling Janusz actually before we started recording about a client that I used to have online, and Our biggest task wasn't even walking into the gym yet. Her first task of overcoming a major amount of gym anxiety was just getting to the car park. She would drive there, and if the car park was too busy, she would park for a second, be like, okay, Mel, and she would literally message me on the app and be like, Mel, I'm here in the car park, big step. I just can't go in today. There's too many cars, but I got here at least. And we would celebrate that. So like, that's how far back she was. And there's no, there's no embarrassment or shade against her. I had to start with her there. But guess what? Eventually she was in there doing barbell hip thrusts and being like, wow, look at me go now. I get so excited to go to the gym. But it started in the car park. Like her session was, yay, I ticked off just getting to the car park today. And I was like, yes, hopefully tomorrow we actually walk in. So if you're feeling a bit embarrassed about, oh, I'm so anxious just to walk into a gym where realistically no one cares that you're there, it's okay to feel that way.
Yeah, that's a great point too, that it's often that we build up these anxieties in our own heads and we think that a lot of people are thinking about us, but really they're not. Like we all know that we all started in the same place. Like we didn't all immediately feel confident in the gym. It's like everybody starts with that low confidence because the first time you go to the gym, it's the first time.
Yeah.
You don't know what exercises you're doing. You don't know how the machines work. You just don't feel comfortable in the gym because you haven't been in there before.
Yeah.
But I love how like we have a lot of clients who start like that, where it's just starting with a small step. So it's like, okay, just commit to showing up is the first step. And that's how you'll dispel the anxiety. So it's just start showing up. Now let's start showing up and just going for a little 5-minute walk in the gym. Now let's start showing up and we'll do 2 or 3 exercises.
Yeah.
Now we'll show up and we'll start doing a full workout routine.
Yep.
And so just continuously building is how you just get rid of that. And now we love seeing like how she can just go in there feeling so confident to go on all the machines, to do the hip thrusts, to do all those different things.
Like honestly, her PBs they obviously mean a lot to me, but I get more excited thinking about the version of her last year that just couldn't walk into the gym. And I remind her of this constantly because it's so good to remember how far you've come sometimes. We all forget because we're always thinking ahead. We're always thinking of what we want to be achieving in the future, where it's really important to go, oh, wow, like I should be thankful for the present me because she put in the work for the past version of me that never thought I could be here today. And I like that you were saying before about, how really people aren't thinking that much about you. That's a big fear and anxiety as well that leads to gym anxiety, is because people are scared that people are looking at them, thinking about them, maybe judging what they're doing in the gym. What I always like to tell my clients is, from my own experience, I believe that anyone that goes and trains in the gym are respectful people that actually are cheering you on in silence. Like, I know for myself, if I ever struggled with an exercise, there would always be someone that comes up to me and they're not judging me. They'd be like, hey, do you need help with that exercise? Because most people know where you're coming from. Like Janusz said, everyone has started as a beginner. Everyone knows how you're feeling. And we all kind of just pay it forward to, the people that we see who aren't doing the best. I know for myself, when I was in the gym and I was doing really well at Anytime Fitness, I remember thinking when someone as a beginner would walk in, I'd look at them and go, oh, I'm obviously not just going to be like, hey, I can help you, I just would be like, oh, I'm going to watch them for a while. And if I ever see that they need, help, I'm just going to go become friends with them and say, hey, you're doing really well, give them a compliment. But I would never judge anyone. So I think I like to remind my clients that most people aren't judging you in the gym. And even if they are, even if you really think that they are judging, guess what? They're thinking about someone else the next second later. And you're never going to really see them. Yes, you'll see them at the gym, but they mean nothing to you. So who cares?
Yeah. And so many people are so caught up in their own heads.
Yes.
They're thinking about their day at work. They're thinking about their kids. They're thinking about their
point.
job, what they're stressed about. Or they might be thinking about what you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
Right? They might also have the same anxieties thinking, oh, are those people judging me? So it's kind of like, if you just eliminate the judgment at all, first of all, start with yourself. Stop judging other people. If you're in there judging people, then of course you're going to think everybody else is doing that to you as well. But if you just get rid of that fear altogether and you just think, okay, you know what? I'm not here to judge people. Everybody here is trying to get better in some way. Really, that is what the gym is. It's a place where everyone is going to, starting at all different levels, and they're all trying to get better in their own ways. So whether you're starting at 0 and you're just trying to get 10% better, or whether somebody's already at 90% results and they're trying to get to that 100, even advanced people who are going to the gym, they're all just trying to get better together. So be the type of person who goes in there, encourages other people, and just don't worry about what other people are thinking about, because if you're going in there and you don't know what you're doing, you're not supposed to pretend like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I've got everything kept together. It's like, it's okay to ask somebody and just be like, hey, do you know how to get this bench to incline? Like, I have no idea how to move it up.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone in the gym that will be like, oh, you're so annoying. No, I really don't think that. If anything, I think the gym is the most celebrated, supportive environment that you can place yourself in. And I know I say this to a lot of my single friends. Like, I know if I hadn't met Janusz, I would be looking for my husband in a gym, because it's people who want to improve themselves. They have a growth mindset. They know what hard work looks like, and they know they have to be patient. But it's also someone that's healthy and also someone that supports other people. So that's where I'll try to find my husband.
Yeah.
And I used to love that about the environment. I always like to be that person in the gym that would help people. Or, you know, when you start going to the gym at the same time all the time, like people that regularly go to the gym will know that if you go at 9 a.m., there's that crew that you always see that you may not know what their names are, etc., but you give like the little nod and you start to go, oh, I've noticed you're lifting quite heavy. Well done. Like, it's actually quite exciting to build a family at the gym. And I know I personally used to love it. And that's what I sometimes miss. So just look at it, instead of looking in that anxious way, start to go, oh, like, the more that I go, the more that I start to become a part of a very supportive family of people who are trying to improve themselves every single day. I know for a lot of people as well, their anxiety comes from, you know, feeling like if they do this wrong, are they going to get injured, or are they doing their exercises correctly? And I think that leads into one of the solutions that we have to overcome gym anxiety is to have a proper plan in place. And I know a lot of people want to overcome gym anxiety and they do it by just walking in. And I'm like, why do you expect to just walk into the gym with no plan at all and no idea what you're doing and expect to feel confident? Like, I just don't understand that logic. It's like me, I like to use this example with my clients. Like, when I walk into the kitchen, I'm not someone who like goes, oh, a little bit of thyme, oh, I'm going to taste a little bit of salt and a little bit of rosemary. Like, I don't work that way. It has to tell me, hey, put 5 leaves of this herb in. Like, I need to know the exact...
Mel needs to follow the recipe to the T.
Like, yeah, my mother-in-law, bless her, but she'll be like, oh, here's my recipe, but I change it all the time, so I can't really help you. I'm like, yeah, honey, like, that's not going to help me at all. I can't feel what I need to do. I need to go, these are the exact teaspoon, tablespoon, exact grams of things I need to put in. I follow a plan to know that it's exactly going to work out, so I feel confident in the kitchen. So when Janusz comes in for dinner, I'm like, here is the meal that I've prepared, and I know it's going to taste good. But it's the same with the gym. I don't even walk into this gym here, like our gym at home, with no plan. I never walk in here and go, what should I do today? I open my app, I follow the plan that I have created for myself and my specific goals, and I just press go. I do the 7 exercises that I need to do for that day, and that's it. And then I feel confident knowing as long as I get those exercises done, I can warm down, I can leave, and I feel confident that I did the best that I could.
Yeah. And the cool thing too is like just watching videos for the technique. So our app, we've obviously got a little 1-minute video of me or Mel explaining how to do each exercise. But I remember when I was first getting started in the gym, yeah, I was super familiar with judo and throwing people. I was super familiar with like AFL, with soccer, with all these sports, but I had no idea what I was doing with any of the gym equipment.
Yeah.
So I remember even when I was going to uni learning about exercise science, I had to look up techniques on YouTube and find videos of how to do each exercise and then find the technique of how to do each one, so that when I came into the gym, I'm like, okay, let me try and replicate that as best as I could. And then each time, I'm not going to be perfect when I started off the technique. And that's normal, right? That's how you get better at things. You start squatting badly, and then you do it more and more and more. And then over time, number 1, you're going to get stronger. But number 2, your technique's going to improve over time as well.
Yeah. No, I think I think that's why our clients personally love working one-on-one with us to begin with. And that's why we suggest it, especially if you have gym anxiety or you're a beginner, is because yes, you get to go with your custom program that we've designed for you, but you get feedback from us straight away.
Yeah.
So clients will put up their phone and just quickly film themselves from the side in the gym, where again, no one cares that you're doing that, because if anyone that's been going to the gym for a while, they actually understand what you're doing. We should actually be recording ourselves constantly in the gym to get feedback, not just from a coach if you don't have one, but from yourself. I know for myself, like I feel myself obviously a lot because I love social media. I love posting and inspiring you all. However, sometimes I video myself and I'm like, oh my goodness, my shoulders are rounding. I didn't realize that I looked a bit hunched over in that exercise. Time to bring my shoulders back. I must have been fatigued, or I must be lifting too heavy, that my technique's falling. So it's really good to get into that kind of habit of filming yourself. But if you have a coach like us, we get to send you that feedback and be like, great, we can tell you right now that this is what you need to fix in the gym.
And what you were saying before, like the fear of injuring yourself, if you start with lighter weights, you don't have to worry about that. Because even when you're using suboptimal technique, like if you're not doing the exercise correctly, like quote unquote correctly, you're still exercising. You're still moving the body. And as long as you start with weights that are easy and slowly build up, your body's going to build resilience even with the bad technique. So what injures people is not so much that they've used the wrong technique and that's why they got injured. It's usually that they used a weight that they weren't ready for with whatever technique they use. So even if you use perfect technique, if you suddenly go and just jump up to using like really heavy weights out of nowhere, your body's not prepared for it. It's not used to it. And that's what causes injury. Not so much, I accidentally let my form slip once and then now it's thrown me out of, into an injury.
Yeah. And there's another, like, I know a lot of people do that when they go with friends because they either can't be bothered to change the weights, or maybe they're comparing to their friend. They're like, oh, wow, Janosch is lifting 100 kilos. I was doing 20 last week. I'll just do 100 as well. Like, it's just the logic there doesn't add up, but that's okay. So make sure, another tip to overcome gym anxiety is to go with a friend and to feel like, I'm going to go with someone who is confident or someone that I feel like I can be myself with, so I'm not judged. But make sure it's someone who is actually going to challenge you to do the right things and not just be like, just lift this. Make sure you're lifting, in a smart way, progressing slowly, but just being consistent. But yeah, make sure it's a friend that is actually going to keep you consistent. Make sure it's a friend who's actually going to show up, so you're not always just relying on them to get there and then they never show up and then you never go.
Yeah, I like that. But the main thing is just showing up, like committing to the process of showing up. The only way that you'll get comfortable with something is by exposing yourself to that circumstance or environment over and over and over and over.
Which we don't want to do sometimes.
I know.
I know for things I'm anxious about, not even gym, but it's like maybe some work that I'm avoiding, or maybe a conversation with someone that I'm avoiding. I'm like, I just won't do it. And the more that I don't do it, it just builds up so much in my head. And then as soon as I do it, I'm like, why didn't I just do that to begin with?
Yeah, it's always worse in your head than it actually is when you go there.
Yep.
So this is the same thing, like even with us, like sometimes if you haven't gone to church in a while, like sometimes my first time going back again, like for example, after COVID, like we all experienced this, right? Where you shut down, you haven't been going out as much. And even if you were somebody who was confident in a certain area, going back again after you're having, time, you start to build up a bit of, anxiety in your head, a bit of fear about what it's going to be like, a bit of discomfort. And then the funny thing is that the moment you get there, it's uncomfortable until you get there. And then you're like, oh, okay, you know what? This is actually really enjoyable. I enjoyed this.
Just like when we were dating. Remember, so Janosch and I, when we first started dating, was just before COVID lockdown. We had about 3 to 4 dates. Then we Zoom dated for a month every single night. And then all of a sudden, we could see each other again within that radius, whatever it was. And I remember our first date, Janosch picked me up from my house and we were so awkward. We were like, hey, how are you? And I was like, I don't know how to speak to this guy off Zoom. Like,
that
it's
was
so
really funny.
Weird.
Yeah.
But like halfway through the date, I was like, oh yeah, hey, I know who you are now. It was just so weird how awkward we are. But that's the same with like what you were just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really funny. Like we had literally 4 weeks. Not 4 weeks. It was just 4 dates that we did in person. And then we went into the lockdown, so we couldn't see each other, but we just Zoom dated. So then
Which I loved.
This was within our first 2 weeks of meeting each other. So we had our first 4 dates. We started doing the Zoom dating, which we had a good month of Zoom dating, which in that month, we started to realize that we really liked each other. So then when we had that first date back again in person, we were like, oh no, like I remember, at least this was what I was thinking, is like, oh no, I really like her. Like, am I going to click in person again? Because at this point, we'd had 4 weeks apart, not seeing each other face to face. So I'm like, but is the physical attraction going to be there? Are we going to click, or are we going to be awkward? What's all of that going to be like? And then I remember on that first date, we were awkward. We both laughed about it. And then we both said this to each other.
Do you remember when we actually just said, hey, I'm nervous. Like we both said we feel a bit awkward. Like I actually loved that we could just be so honest with each other. But let's bring it back to the actual podcast.
But we didn't just say we were awkward. We were just like we said exactly what we were feeling.
No, I said I feel awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, back to gym anxiety, not our relationship. I think another thing that Janusz mentioned before that's a really good way to overcome gym anxiety is choosing that comfortable equipment. So like you were saying, don't go for the cable machines. Maybe stick to like dumbbells and machines. They can be quite safer to use. But my suggestion also is try not to stay there forever. It's very, like you can still get great workouts with machines and dumbbells, but if you're starting to feel consistent, you're starting to feel good, start to venture out and be like, okay, the barbell squat rack, yes, it can be quite overwhelming. Like right behind us, like all those holes that you got to put it in, like what hole do I put this in for the right level for this barbell? It can seem overwhelming, but guess what? Just give it a go. Like you've just got to do trial and error and then go, okay, this didn't work out, but I'm going to try again. And hopefully someone helps you, or you just learn from your mistakes and eventually you know the exact height of every machine, every piece of equipment in that gym. But if you never try it and you never overcome those anxieties, it's just going to keep building up and you'll stay in your little corner. But the more that you try other equipment, the better results that you're going to get as well.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing about warm-up sets. So when we warm up, a lot of people ask us this, like we don't do like whole 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute warm-up routines before we work out. Often the best type of warm-up you can do is just a lighter weight of the exercise you're about to do.
Yep.
So if you're about to do back squats, for example, the best way to warm up for a back squat is to just do some light back squats. It's going to warm up the muscles.
Yeah, I do like 2-3 sets before I even get into my working set.
Yeah, but the best thing about warm-up sets is they help you to get used to the equipment and to adjust the equipment. So rather than having like such a heavy weight on the back squat that you're like not sure how to set it up and if it's set up right, that's why you just squat the bar to start with, to be like, okay, how's everything set up? Is the heights correct? How does this feel? Okay, let me put it back after doing 10 reps. Let me adjust it a little bit. If you go on a machine, for example, and you're doing machine chest press, you might get on it, start with a light weight first, give it a go. Then you're like, oh, you know what? The seat height doesn't feel comfortable. Let me adjust the seat. Do another couple of reps. Oh, yep, that feels more comfortable. Now let me put the heavy weight on.
Yeah.
So the first thing you want to do is just do a warm-up set or two to find how to adjust the machine to the right height that you need, or to make the exercise feel comfortable. And then once you feel comfortable with the exercise, now you can start to add weight to it.
Yeah. I think though, coming back to the biggest anxiety that most people feel about trying different machines and stuff is the fear of other people judging. I totally understand that. I know we've already spoken about this, but this is really niche, what I'm about to say. So try and follow along if you can. But with those 4 American individuals, just astronauts, just who recently went up to the moon and back, the Artemis 2, I think it was. Like, I'm pretty obsessed with that right now. I love looking into it. But when they've sent photos back down to Earth showing them taking photos of Earth, and me just seeing photos of Earth, realizing we are just floating on this rock, right? Or whatever we're doing on here. Like, we're just here. And it really just weirdly made me think, why do we care so much about what people think when we're all just floating on this rock that we're not always going to be on for the rest of our life? One day we're all going to die. And I'm caring what Bob over there thinks about me adjusting the seat on the leg extension is. Like, it actually, when I think that big and that kind of way, I go, oh, I don't really care. I'm just going to overcome it and just do it. Because even if Bob is judging me, he's not going to care like in an hour's time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that sounds really weird, but like that's what I start to think.
Like, I've seen people, like if anxiety is a common trait that you're having, not just in the gym, but in other areas of your life, starting to do awkward things in society and then realizing that you don't die, that you don't really get judged, anything like that can really help.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? So then even like when you're doing that, like if you are struggling with the machine, so what? You're going a bit slow. Now, if somebody comes up to you and they're like, oh, hey, can I have a go? You could be like, yeah, look, you just laugh at yourself and just be like, do you know how to adjust this machine? Because I have zero idea what I'm doing here.
I had that laugh in Queensland when I was trying to adjust the bench. I'm like, Janusz, I can't even get it. And I'm a PT. Like we were just laughing about it. And I know that comes from building confidence and things like that. But if you can laugh at yourself in life, life becomes so much more joyful. Another thing as well that I just got reminded of is, I know a lot of people have said to me before in the past is, I'll go to the gym when I've lost weight and when I feel good about myself. Where, for example, if you're feeling like you're a bit overweight, maybe embarrassed to go to the gym, I totally understand that. Like, I know that can be very overwhelming because, you know, you walk into the gym and see a girl with a little crop top on, and you're like, well, I'm not her and that's really embarrassing. Are they all going to judge what I'm doing here? But remember, the gym is a place to become better. The gym is a place to get stronger. The gym is a place to lose weight. And you don't have to do that before stepping in. You don't have to earn your way into those doors to use that equipment. We all belong there. So if you have been thinking that going, oh, like I'll do home programs to begin with, and then eventually I'll go to that gym that I keep driving past on the way home from work, I really hope you feel encouraged right now to be like, you know what? I'm going to speed up this process by just overcoming that fear and going in there. Because if I, like, with my own experience at the gym, I remember seeing women, I'm just going to use women as an example, seeing women who were quite overweight in the gym using equipment, and I would never look at them and go, oh gosh, what are you doing here? I remember always thinking, oh my goodness, good on you. I'm actually more proud of you than I'm proud of myself right now, because it's actually easier for me to get here. I can't imagine what's going on through their head right now. I'm going to give them a heads up or a nod or like a well done, you're doing so well, because it may have taken everything for them to get in there that day.
Yeah. And again, that's just a big thing about if you just stop judging people yourself, then you'll stop caring what other people are thinking about you.
Yes.
Because the only reason that you're thinking about what other people are thinking about you is because you're judging other people. So then you're thinking, okay, well, if I'm judging other people must be judging me, because that's your personality. So the first thing is just start switching your thoughts about other people. Like, stop being the person who's looking at somebody and like casting judgment on them. Stop being the person who's seeing somebody who's overweight in the gym and judging them for being overweight and in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, if you start flipping things to think the way that Mel has just explained, about celebrating other people in your internal thoughts, about not judging other people, but like seeing the gold in what they're doing, then you're not going to be worried about what other people are thinking about you, because you only think everybody's thinking negatively about you because you're thinking negatively about everybody else.
Yep.
Whereas if you start to flip the way you're thinking about other people, then your perception of like what they're thinking about you will start to change.
Yeah, such a good point. I think I like to always try and remind myself that everyone's going through something that we have no idea about. Like, I know I may look like, oh, happy Melissa's walking into the gym to do a workout. Woohoo, she's dancing around. But you have no idea what's going on in my head while I'm at the gym. If anything, the gym was the place for me to improve my mental health. I remember through uni, it was the only hour of my day where I felt happy and positive, because everywhere else in my life I felt stressed. So you never know when you're walking to the gym or walking to the shops or going somewhere where if you're judging them, have a little think and go, well, I'm going through things. 100% they're going through things. So who am I to judge someone? Like, I'm always just trying to think, what are they going through? Can my kindness today improve their day slightly? Like, even if someone's rude to me, someone may beep me on the road because I'm driving too slow, which happens sometimes. Maybe the cashier at the shops is a little bit short with me and not very kind. I could easily be rude back. However, I don't know what's going on in their life. Maybe they just got some really bad news. Maybe they just failed an exam. Maybe they just got dumped. I don't know. But I know with everything we went through last year with our miscarriage, oh my goodness, was I not a happy person for a while? And I remember snapping at sometimes and snapping at my friends and maybe being a bit more closed off than usual. But I knew what I was going through, but some people didn't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just never know what people are going through until you really understand that. So it's always better to be kinder, to be like, oh, like, you know what? Sometimes we just got to let things slide. Let's not judge people in the gym. Let's also just encourage people, because like just getting to the gym in general can be a massive milestone for people.
Yeah. But the biggest thing is just know that it's normal to feel anxious. Know that it's normal to feel not confident when you're doing something new, when you're going to a new gym, when you're going somewhere new. So like, remember, me and Mel, we both feel the exact same thing when we not are in our home gym and we go out to a commercial gym, holiday gym. We still feel the exact same thing. So just know that this emotion, this feeling is normal whenever you're doing new things. And so you just need to step into it anyway, feel the fear and face the fear anyway. And through facing it, you start to realize, oh, I've built up all of this anxiety, all of this fear around this thing that doesn't need to be fearful when I actually step into it.
Yeah.
And just be committed to the process of showing up first. Commit to the process of just walking first. Just walk through the gym first. Then just start to come in and just do a couple of exercises. Like, don't worry about if you can't do the entire workout, all right? So set the bar low for yourself to start with, just starting with things that you're comfortable with. And then over time, you can expand the number of exercises you do, the types of exercises you do, the different types of equipment you use. So the main thing is to start with where you are, like meet yourself where you are, and just stretch yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't set a huge goal that's way beyond what you can do because you're like, I can't even comprehend that. Just stretch yourself just a little bit. So just always have a little bit of discomfort that you lean into.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that, like, we're always going to feel anxious in life. And I feel as though whenever I'm not feeling anxious or I haven't felt anxious in a while, I actually don't like that. Because if I'm not feeling anxious, it means I'm staying in my comfort zone and I'm staying doing the exact same things as always. And to grow, we need to get outside of our comfort zone. And whenever we step outside of that comfort zone, we are going to feel anxious. Like, it's a new territory. It's something new. It's something that is going to challenge you. And our brain does not want to do that. It wants to resist that. But I'm trying to always be like, anything in my life, and I've mentioned this many times in the podcast, anything worth having in life that I've ever felt anxious about has always turned into something so worthwhile. For example, the gym, walking to the gym for the first time, like before I even met Janos, it's like, wow, like now I've create a profession out of it and I get to bless other people with that gift. Dating Janos, oh my goodness, I didn't want to go on a date with him, but I remember walking in going, what am I doing? Like, I just want to be at home in my room, but I had to overcome that anxiety, and now we're married and we're so happy. So any anxiety that you do feel, just keep going, okay, I know eventually it's going to lead to something great, but I've just got to overcome that. So if you're feeling quite comfortable right now, you feel like you haven't felt anxious in a while, it's probably not a good thing, and you probably do need to step out of that comfort zone and find something that's going to challenge you.
Yeah, I love that. And that's my favorite quote, right? If it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you, right? So that goes with everything, not just in the gym with the weight that you're selecting. Like, you need to pick weights that challenge you, but even just with the emotion of anxiety. Like, if you're not feeling it, then that's not a good thing. You're not stretching yourself. You're not challenging yourself to improve in different areas. Like dating, like Mel wasn't really dating much before me. So if she like allowed the fear and the anxiety to take control, she wouldn't be in this relationship with me. We wouldn't be married.
I dated Justin Bieber in my dreams.
Yeah, because that was comfortable.
So comfortable. Actually, that was still anxious.
Yeah. So just remember that whatever you're scared of, whatever you're fearful of, if you push through that and lean into that fear, that's showing you areas that you can improve in your life. And what's the alternative? Like, if you don't lean into the fear, if you don't go to the gym, if you allow the fear to lead you, nothing's going to change. You're going to stay single forever. You're not going to go to the gym and your body's not going to change. You're not going to get stronger.
Yep.
You're going to get more fearful, because remember, the more you avoid something, it actually grows. Like, the level of fear grows each time you avoid something.
Yes.
So the more and more and more that you start avoiding something, the harder and harder and harder it gets to actually face the fear again.
But it gets better over time. Like, if you are really bothered today, scroll down to the bottom of my Instagram and you will see my old workout videos in Anytime Fitness where I just put my phone up against my water bottle. And sometimes I rewatch those videos, like if they come up in my memories, and I'm like, oh, that technique's so wrong. Oh my gosh, why was I telling people to do that? Like, it's like just so funny to watch. I can laugh about it now because I'm like, I'm actually just proud that I did that. Like, that really helped me overcome my anxiety to post on social media, because I would just do it and force myself in Anytime Fitness to just be like, oh, who cares what people think? Just do it. So yeah, you just got to keep going. It eventually gets better.
And this is where, like, doing dares can be useful, right? So I used to be very reserved. I didn't really talk when I was younger. I've mentioned this before. But one of the things that like dramatically brought me out of my comfort zone was when I went to uni games in uni. You get given roles like as part of the team. So I was playing OzTag, and the role that I got given was called Yes Man. And I was like petrified of this, right? Because Yes Man, it meant that I had to say yes to everything. Otherwise I had to do shots or something like that.
Janos's rebellious days.
Right. So then this was like a place where it forced me to grow a lot, because number one, I'm introverted. Number two, I don't like talking to people that I don't like. Like, I like talking to people I'm comfortable with. So then as Yes Man, they would make me do all of these dares. They'd be like, hey, Yes Man, go jump in that fountain. And I would have to say yes and do it in like, just, it's a fountain. And I'd jump into that. They'd be like, hey, Yes Man, go ask for a free coffee. I would have to do that because I was Yes Man. So I'd be like, yes, I could go do it. And it was so uncomfortable for me because, like, again, I'm introverted. This was so outside of my personality. But I knew that I just didn't want the punishments of having to like get drunk all the time doing the shots. So I would do it. But I also went into it knowing that, okay, you know what, as a challenge, I want to challenge myself to try and say yes to everything that they told me to do. They couldn't tell me to do illegal things though. That was the main thing.
That's good.
Because I knew that this was a thing that would actually challenge me and help me to grow past my social anxiety, past my introvertedness, where I would have to ask for a free coffee. I'd have to jump in the fountain. And then I started to realize like, oh, okay, you know what? What's the worst that'll happen? Like jumping in the fountain, yeah, I'll be a bit cold, but I can laugh about it myself. People will laugh at me. And then what are they going to think? Oh, wow, that guy, like, he's confident enough to do that?
I wouldn't have dated you.
Right?
No, I'm kidding.
Or, yeah, this was
I would have
before
been
Mel.
like, ick.
Or for the coffee, for example. I actually did end up getting the free coffee. Like, because apparently they have like a...
Hi, my name's Janusz.
Well,
Can
like
I
the
please
lady,
have a
she ended
free
up saying that
coffee?
they had like a thing where people would pay for the coffee so that if somebody asked for a free one, they could do it at this
What?
cafe that I went to. I was like, mad. But again, the worst thing
Yeah.
that would have happened
They
if...
say no.
Yeah, it's just they would say no. And so just remember that in anything that you're trying to grow in your life, become a little bit of a yes man. Like when you feel the fear, just do it anyway. Just lean into it because it's going to start to grow your confidence. It's going to start to grow just you as a person. And then you're going to be the type of person who can just triumph over fear. Because fear is the same in every, like, you know, you might be scared of different things, different objects, but fear is fear. And so if you can start to be the type of person who faces fears in any area of your life, think about what you could achieve. Because really it's a fear that holds people back from success in everything, not just in the gym, but in everything.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great point to finish on. Not the uni games part, but the fear. We hope today's episode blessed you. We hope it encourages you to not just overcome your gym anxiety, but any anxiety or fears that you feel right now. Like we said before, the anxiety reduces when you just show up. When you just remain consistent and you just keep following through on that feeling, and eventually it just fades away, because in order to get confident in anything, it's not about shouting affirmations in the mirror. It's about just actually showing up and doing it. So if you are feeling fearful, you are feeling anxious, if you feel like none of these tips actually helped you and you want some more tips on how to overcome gym anxiety, definitely message us. We're always happy to chat about these things.
Yeah.
Thank you for liking our podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share around. We love to see it. And we hope you
Live
the Pro Booty lifestyle.